So being able to look at that. So with Texas Best Docs, I know that there's a lot of experiences out there. I'm sure, we asked those of you at home if you've been through something in regards to in the healthcare industry that maybe wasn't the most ideal situation. We probably get a lot of people commenting. So if you do want to reach out to us, you can send us a message as well. But why is Texas Best Docs, important to you personally?
I personally went through my own story. I was a young girl, a young woman. I was 19 years old. I went through a very difficult time in my life where I had a physical at my job, and I was one of 6 women that got impacted by an inappropriate physical by a physician. And that was very difficult for me to go through. And there was a period of time where I stayed silent about that. And thankfully, one of the other women came forward in the organization and said, hey, I'm not going to stay silent. And that helped me be open about my own story. And we were one of 6 women, and we had to report it. And we had to go through some legal actions. And it was just a very difficult time in my life. I was a young woman. I felt like I hit rock bottom in that moment. I had to find my voice because I felt like I had to stay silent in that moment. But later learned that finding my voice is really what I needed to do for myself. I'm a huge advocate for women, for children. I'm a huge advocate for abuse survivors and speaking out and helping women identify that they're not alone. And if they go through things like that, that they can overcome those things and they can go on and become successful women. And they can change the course of their life.
Well, first off, I want to say I'm really sorry that happened to you. And I'm really, I know that there's probably people watching that are very thankful that you are talking about it, though, because, one of the first things you said is, I didn't want to tell anybody at first. And the process, for people at home, once that other woman stood up and then you did and the other 6 women, what was the process like after that? Do you feel like immediately weight was lifted off, or did it take a little while?
It took time. It took time. It was scary at first. You don't know if you're going to be heard. You don't know if you can say anything. So eventually I found my voice, and it has made me stronger. Definitely as a woman, as a mother, as a business owner, as a leader with my own organization and my own employees. I feel like maybe I have a sense of understanding and empathy that I might not have otherwise. Yeah. And I'm a big believer in you can take your misery and make it your mission. And that's what I've done with that in my life.
Yeah, and that you along with the other 6 women probably saved a lot of other women from going through that. And, that's a physician that could have been practicing for a long time, right?
Right.
Yeah. So standing up and doing that is essentially, I feel like you are a part of the army that Texas Best Docs is really trying to protect, and continue to push forward, because there's probably a lot of stories like yours out there. Unfortunately, we hate that, right?
Right.
And we want to stop that.
Absolutely.
Give people the tools to be able to make some good decisions.
Right. Or have the knowledge before you even walk in that patient room. And know the history, so that you can feel empowered. We do research on so many things we purchase, we buy, where we send our kids to school, what we allow our kids to watch on social media. But do we spend enough time getting to know our physicians before we decide to get treatment? Mm-hmm. So that's what I feel Texas Best Docs is long overdue. We need that. We need that as patients. We need advocates for us as patients.
And taking it a step farther, went through that as a 19-year-old and now as a mother. What kind of information or insight would you like people to know about this service from that perspective?
I love it. My daughter's 5 years old, and I love the idea of knowing that I have more confidence with her providers, knowing if she needs physicals, that I can understand the history of providers. and feeling confident that when I walk in that room, even though I may have never met that provider face to face, I have met that provider virtually with the information that I needed to make that decision to even schedule that visit.
Yeah. I have a 5-year-old as well, so I feel exactly the same.
Yeah.
Being able to kind of see through everything, and I mean, I'm doing the best I can, and that's all we can do, right, as parents, or, you know, as a daughter or sister, is to be able to do the best we can.
Absolutely.